Every new macOS update is painful for users. Big Sur on Apple Silicon made SSD wear out faster, macOS Monterey carried a bunch of bugs and flaws, and now Ventura, a completely new operating system from Apple, was revealed quite recently. We installed it, used it for a week, and I have a question. Is it really a worthy update? How is the Stage Manager doing, and is it needed? The new design of system settings, why is the continuity camera a useless feature, and what's new in macOS Ventura? Do I need to update now or wait for the official release so as not to ruin my computer? Let's talk about this today. And to make the video more exciting, I installed Ventura on my M1 MacBook Air. At each stage, I'm gonna give points to this system, and if we'll end up with more upsides than downsides, we'll call it a worthy update. So, let's go. With each update, Apple is refining the visual part of macOS. Fonts, shadows, rounded corners, and most importantly, wallpapers. There's only one background here. It looks nice, but I would like to see more variation. Perhaps in the future they'll add more, no one knows, but for one background, I give one negative point. Also, the About This Mac section was updated. The window became more minimalistic, without tabs and a bunch of extra information. Now we get just the necessary basic stuff. And if you still need to find out more information about your computer, click the More Info button and you'll fall into the System Settings. By the way, they used to be called System Preferences, now it's System Settings. The Mac settings have also been redesigned from top to bottom. Now the settings look more like the settings in iPadOS, iOS, or Ubuntu? Nevertheless, it looks beautiful, so I'll count it as an upside. Because this way navigation through the settings feels easier, simplifying the user experience is always a good thing. Apple paid special attention to Stage Manager, a new way of interacting with Windows. This mode is not permanent, and you can enable it from the control center. The button is located instead of the keyboard brightness. When this mode is enabled, thumbnails of open windows appear on the left side of the screen. In general, it has become much easier to switch from one window to another, but here I want to share my impressions in more detail. We see how Apple is trying its best to merge the user experience of iPadOS and macOS. At first, the support for various accessories for the iPad. Now the entire workflow feels similar, but Apple, your iPads already run on the M1 chips. When can we expect a full software support? In my opinion, Stage Manager is absolutely useless in macOS. On iPads, it kinda makes it more convenient. Why? Let's be honest, Option plus Tab is great for moving quickly between windows. Moreover, if you desire, the dock in macOS can be moved to the left, and you can open and close apps the same way. Yes, you can see the preview windows, but is it really that important? Okay, what's my point? It certainly looks beautiful. Extremely smooth Apple-style animations are pleasing to the eye, but it feels like the additional features are being forced on us. They're definitely not life-changing. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know what you think down below, but I think it's a feature just for iPads. macOS has been living perfectly without it. 99% of bugs are likely to be corrected for the official release. I get it, but now the Windows animation in Stage Manager looks somehow not smooth. In general, I don't know about you, but I'll keep on using Mission Control in macOS because in my opinion, it's more productive. If we're talking about iPadOS, maybe it would be an upside, but in macOS, one negative point more. Well, that's a serious statement from me. In the new update, guys from Cupertino have greatly improved the Spotlight search, and now it looks more like the Alfred utility that previously improved the search in macOS. Now you can search for photos, famous people, we also have the information cards, and you can quick preview files directly in the Spotlight by pressing the spacebar. I think it greatly simplifies our workflow, so I'll drop one more plus point in the Ventura piggyback. As I said earlier, the new macOS continues to recycle some elements. For example, Siri no longer looks like a notification. Now it's just a multicolored ball in the corner. Minimalistic, looks nice. In the system settings, not only have the appearance of the categories been redesigned, but the sections themselves have also been updated. For example, Wallpapers menu, this is how it looked before and after. In my opinion, the old settings layout should have been changed for a long time, since the days when Apple went away from skeuomorphism, but better late than never. The Home application was also redesigned, now it looks nice and fresh. There is not much to comment on here, everything looks and works quite well, like Apple. New apps have been added to the standard macOS package. Finally, now we have the weather, and never thought that I would be so happy about clock. Previously, if you, for example, wanted to set a timer or an alarm clock, you had to call Siri by saying, "Hey Siri, set the timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now."
Thank you, Siri. And do you know what the response was? She added a reminder. It's weird, but now we can set a timer, set an alarm, check out the world time, and turn on the stopwatch. And if you do turn it on, then a stopwatch miniature is displayed in the menu bar. It may be useful for freelancers where a man's income depends on the time spent in a particular app, but here is the timer and the alarm clock. I'll give 2 likes at once for weather and clock. As for the weather, there is nothing extremely exciting here. Now when you click on the weather widget in the notification center, you are not thrown to weather.com. Now we get about the same application as an iPad OS. Looks nice and informative. And now let's talk about another feature or innovation: continuity camera for video calls, streams, etc. You just need to mount your iPhone at the top of your screen on some kind of stand or double-sided tape and choose your iPhone as a video source. The delay is barely noticeable, which is nice. You get 4 modes as Apple stated: center stage, portrait, studio light, and desk cam. Also, with the help of the ultra-wide lens, you can reveal to your colleagues what's on your desk, although this is rarely a good idea. Let me show you how to use your iPhone as a webcam without all these updates. You just need a Lightning USB cable and launch an app, OBS for example. Now you can reveal the screen of your iPhone as a video source. Now let's open the camera app and voila! We use a kind of continuity camera without the actual continuity camera. Of course, it's not as convenient as the new way, but nevertheless. The webcam in MacBooks has been asking for a huge upgrade for years, but why upgrade the webcam if you can literally force people to buy iPhone? And I'm not quite sure that it's a worthy update because, let's be honest, FaceTime calls do not require 4K Dolby Atmos quality. I mean, 4K is great, but what if I need my iPhone while I'm on a call? Plus, almost any internet connection eats up the image quality. Therefore, will the person on the other side see all the beauty of the iPhone 13 camera? It may be convenient for streamers, but usually a MacBook is not used for streaming on Twitch because Windows computers are better sharpened for these tasks. And this feature doesn't work with other smartphones, and I get it, but why would I use the iPhone camera when calling FaceTime from a MacBook if I can use FaceTime from an iPhone? Something to think about. So let's call it a nice feature, but a useless feature. I'll give it half a point. In iMessage, now you don't need to apologize if you sent a wrong message. Now you can delete the message, edit the message, mark the dialog as read. Finally, Apple, oh seriously, jokes aside, this was really missing. Share Play is also available in iMessage, which is nice, but it's hard for me to imagine a situation where I'm watching a movie with someone and discussing it in iMessage. It's more convenient to do this in FaceTime or even Discord, but it's there and it's fine. I would definitely update for editing features in iMessage, so 1 point up, but for SharePlay, 1 point down. I don't know about you, but I've always wondered, why is the hidden or recently deleted section in the Photos app not password protected? It seems that my thoughts have been heard and now these sections are protected. No one except the owner of your finger or face will see what you're hiding there. Plus, the app has finally learned to look for duplicates. Now you don't need to install scam software on your iPhone to find duplicate photos. Duplicates, by the way, can not only be deleted, but also combined in case you don't want to delete the same photo. In general, I appreciate these updates. Plus, you can select objects and copy them with a transparent background, not only on iPhone, but also in macOS. So far, it doesn't always work great, but the neural engine is involved in this process, and I'm sure that over time, AI will learn to better recognize objects and remove the background as the iPhone 6 learned to blur the background in your photos. At the start, everything seemed useless, and now everything works great. The same thing here. But even now, you can test this feature. I'll give 1 point more exclusively with the hope that someday we won't have to open Photoshop to remove the background and the neural engine will do it in the best quality possible. Dreams. And you know, every year Apple forces us to buy new devices in the simplest way. So you want new features and a new macOS, but you have a 2015 MacBook? Welcome to the Apple Store. From now on, Ventura is available on devices even from 2017. You can see the entire list on the screen. In the meantime, we have 8.5 upsides and 3 downsides, as well as lots of bugs and errors. We definitely have some very cool features, but I expected way more features with this major update. In general, the macOS looks good, the new features are really good, but in my opinion, there are not so many cool innovations to install beta right now. And yes, it's buggy. Yeah, this stage manager, the continuity camera in FaceTime is cool, but I don't see it as something we really needed. Therefore, it's better to wait for a public beta or even the official release. Who knows, maybe Apple will bring more cool features. If you enjoyed this one, then also go ahead and click on this one and see you in the next one.